channel.
Okay, so today we are going to be diving into how to grow your following, our experience version. But if you didn't see our last video about creating content, maybe you should go check that out.
As someone who's struggled for years with perception or wanting to be perceived in a certain light and desiring certain affirmation, we want to be very clear that we don't mean that you should be chasing after the likes or chasing after the followers and hungry for their approval of what you're putting out there. However, as entrepreneurs and business owners, it will help speed up the process to monetization if you have a following. It doesn't have to be a large following, but a following will help support your monetization of your brand and channel.
So before we get into talking about the tips we have for growing your following, I wanted to go over a timeline on how things happen for us because I feel like having concrete statistics and numbers just helps a little bit. So we started posting in January of last year, and really that was just figuring out what we were doing. That took time, so it was very sporadic.
Dabbling.
Come February, we felt like, okay, we kind of know what we're doing, and we picked it up a little bit, so we were posting maybe 3 to 4 videos a week. If I could go back, I would have just started posting every day, but you learn. So in March, after being consistent somewhat in February, in March we had a video go viral, and it did really well pretty quick. Like by the next day, I was like, our video has 1 million views, and that was pretty exciting. So I posted a second video that was very similar in nature, and that one went very viral overnight. And that was the first moment that we were like, okay, like people, it was the first validation that I feel like was like, okay, people like us, like this is working, like we can keep doing this. And it was also a video that it was just light in nature, and it was funny, and it was short, so it was actually one of our fastest videos that we shot.
Which felt great.
And so we, at that point, were like, okay, we're going to take this seriously, and that's when we started posting every single day. And I wish we would have started that sooner, like I said, but it was important for us to start consistently posting and staying on top of what we were doing. About 2 months after that viral video, we got contacted in May for a brand that we fit very well. And I feel like that was the first time that we saw the potential that other than just having fun and yes, growing a following, like there was opportunity for us to monetize this. And from then on, you know, that was from January to May. I mean, that was pretty quick for us. And we do attribute a lot of that. Like we were just lucky, right place, right time, I guess. But from May on, we just made sure that we were coming up with systems and routines that worked for us so that we could stay on top of it. And we just, I mean, I think we took a 2-week break when we were in the DR. But other than that, like we just really tried to prioritize that. And while he was working full time, I was like, I'm going to do everything that I can to grow this while we have this momentum. And that's what we did. Yeah,
and those systems and routines led to our consistency, being consistent. And that really is the key in growing your following, is being consistent, showing up regularly so that they can see that you're serious about what you're doing. Don't post and then like be gone. Yeah, be gone for 2 weeks before you post again. People will start to notice that. They'll see that you post sporadically and that you're not really committed to what you're doing. So if you can consistently post, whether that's 1 post a day or whether that's 3 posts in a week, whatever is consistent for you when you start out, do that. Show up, be consistent.
So along those lines, once you're being consistent, the next thing is post as much as you can. So if you already learned the app and you already know what you're doing and you're somewhat showing up every once in a while, like great, you took the first step, but now take it to the next level. Like post as much as you can do with your schedule and your time limitations. If you're working and doing school, 1 video a day is amazing for you. But if you're like, hey, I actually prefer to spend 1 hour creating content versus playing a video game or watching a movie, and you're able to do 2 or 3 videos a day, as many as you can, that will 100% increase your chances of growing a following faster. Because think about it, if there's 1 chance for you to be seen on TikTok or 10 chances, people are going to find you through different videos. And if you're creating similar content that people like, all of those videos are going to have the opportunity to bring you followers to who engage with your content. However, when you're posting that much content, it can be really hard to know what to post and stay on top of it. And that's where TikTok is a great platform, because there are constantly trends and audios that everyone is doing. And I call those our filler videos, where you just say, hey, this is a catchy song, or I like this trend where you're like shutting down a negative idea or something like that. You can easily jump on trends and use those as your what do I post now videos. Just jump on a trend. The other thing is you can create original content. Like, you don't have to overthink things and be like, oh, what do I share now? If you want to share a day in your life, if you want to share a piece of advice, if you just had a funny thing happen to you and you want to share that, original content does extremely well. It can be overwhelming to come up with original content all the time. So balance it out and do what works for you. Just know that whether you're jumping on trends or whether you're posting original content, those are good opportunities for you to post a lot of content.
Yeah, and then study the analytics, right? You've now put out a lot of content. You can begin to see what videos your audience is connecting with. So if you posted something that took you a long time to shoot and you have very little engagement on it, don't shoot that again. Don't waste your time. If you have something like us where we were super fortunate to have a quick, simple video that took us hardly any time to put together that went viral, then you know, hey, let's post more of that content. At the end of the day, let your audience drive the content that you're creating.
Okay, and so our next step is to research what is working at the time. There are a lot of, on every platform, there are social media experts who will tell you, this is what's working, use these hashtags, don't do this. And they'll tell you how to increase your engagement and how to get more views. I would say research those. I did that. At the time for us, going live was a huge thing, and if you went live, your videos were boosted a lot, so we did that a lot. Shortly after that changed, then we no longer do that because it's not working anymore. So at the moment that you're posting, make sure that you're keeping up with all the things that you can do to make sure that your content gets in front of people.
Yeah. Be authentic. Invite the viewer into who you are. Allow them to actually get to know you. That's where your content will really take off. When people start to see you as an individual creator, that's where you'll stand out within your brand and your channel, and people will actually attach themselves to you. Don't be so committed to the audience driving your content that you get stuck in one vein. Allow them to see the multifaceted person that you are.
Yeah, like for us, we went viral for making funny videos, and for a long time, and I shared, this is what we're struggling right now. We're still figuring that out. We felt like all we could share was funny videos, which is, we enjoy doing, but we are so much more than that. And so I've been a little discouraged in the last few weeks because I'm like, oh, I limited myself for an entire year, and now that I'm trying to show more of who I am, I just don't even know how to do it. We're like learning, how do I show up and not share a funny video, but just share a story or just give a piece of advice. So don't limit yourself to one thing because that's what you think that the audience wants to see. Give them what they want to see, but give them different layers and different versions. And at the end of the day, continue sharing yourself. All right, so the next big piece of advice that I honestly just figured out in the last few months is recycle your content. Like, this is key. You are already creating, you're taking the time to edit, come up with creative ideas, and then you execute this vision and you make a video. Why not make that video work hard for you? So instead of sharing this video, if your preferred platform is TikTok, which it is for us, if you share that video on TikTok and you stop there, like, there's untapped potential over here.
For sure.
So if you take that same video and you're like, I'm gonna post it with the same caption and everything, I'm gonna post it on Instagram and on Facebook and our YouTube, you're quadrupling your chances of being discovered or found by someone that might not be on TikTok, but they're on Facebook. So that's something that I started doing recently, and I feel like it helped us gain an even bigger following by just using the same video over and over again. And I'll give an example of why this is important. I shared a video that I thought was going to do really well on TikTok, and this happens all the time, you will learn, and it didn't, and I was so disappointed because I thought it was so good. But a week later, I was like, oh, well, I didn't share it on Instagram or Facebook. I'm just gonna, even if it flops, okay, I'm just gonna share it. I did. Listen to this. It did so poor on TikTok. It got 25 million views on Facebook and truly grew our Facebook platform like crazy. And it got 6 million views on Instagram, and it doubled our Instagram following. So that is an example of a video that I almost didn't share on another platform that totally transformed our game. So just make sure that you post the videos and the content that you're already creating on as many platforms as possible.
The other thing that follows that is creating a sense of community. You're going to be on multiple platforms, but let your followers really feel like they're a part of something, that you're engaged with them. So that's replying to their comments. That's, responding to their comments with a video. It's letting them know that they're heard and also allowing them to be part of your journey.
So finally, all those, I know that's a lot of information. The key is just continue to show up. You're gonna do it imperfectly. Don't get caught up on just doing everything right, or like, well, I only can do this, or well, I'm not doing this. It's okay. Like, the fact that you are creating content and sharing it and making yourself vulnerable in that sense.
That's the hard thing.
Like, just make sure that you keep doing it. And remember that we have highs and lows in life. You have highs and lows on social media as a content creator when growing your following. So you're gonna have weeks where you feel like you put a lot of effort and you're like, I'm not getting the results. Like, my videos are all flopping. And you're gonna have weeks where you barely have time and you threw a video up there and it goes viral and you don't even know why. You can't even study why it went viral because you don't know. That happens. So just know there's highs and lows in everything. But if you continue to show up, slow growth is still growth at the end of the day.
100%, yeah. And being consistent over time yields results. You can't expect for something to change the very next day. And I think that's for us where we're at in this journey right now, is we're really trying to develop that authentic, vulnerable component. We've been funny, we've been on the camera, we've put out content, but now it's taking it to that next level. And it's taken us an entire year to get there. So, for you, the encouragement is don't expect to be there right away.
All right, guys, and on that note, our next video will finally be how to monetize your platform. We will go over how we monetize our platform in different ways, but also all the ways that we're aware of so far that you can make money through social media.
There's so many different ways, and we invite you to join us in the next video.